What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Blue Jays Breakdown, where we're always breaking down the Toronto Blue Jays. And in today's not-so-daily dose of Blue Jays news, we got a lot of big things to talk about, all right? Last episode, we kind of had some smaller details in with the bigger details. This time, it's all about the bigger details, all right? We're going to start off the show by talking about the 40-man roster and who could potentially be on it with that logjam of young players in the middle infield. Who could be on the team? Who could be traded? Who could be cut? We're going to talk about it. And the big story today, ladies and gentlemen, Pete Alonso, four-time All-Star, could be coming to Toronto. We're going to talk about all this and more in today's episode of Not So Daily Blue Jays News. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about today is the 40-man roster, but more specifically, that logjam of middle infielders with all those young players. I'm talking about Davis Schneider. I'm talking about Will Wagner. I'm talking about Leo Jimenez, Addison Barger, Ernie Clement, Joey Loperfido. They're everywhere, all right? It's a zombie apocalypse right now. It's actually kind of crazy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about who I would like to see on the 40-man roster or in the opening day starting lineup. So, of course, you're going to have Guerrero, you're going to have Bichette, you're going to have Springer, Jimenez, you're going to have Varsho's going to be injured, so you're still going to have those four. You're probably going to have Ernie Clement in there, which is 5. Kirk, which is 6. Anthony Santander's in there. Oh, my God. And if we get Pete Alonso, it's 8. And like those guys I mentioned off the top, there's still a lot of players left that need playing time in the MLB to develop. Some players I think that should get the opportunity. Number one has to be Will Wagner. He was the best young hitter on our team besides Spencer Horwitz last season. And sure, he only got like 45 plate appearances, but those 45 plate appearances were just so freaking good. Let me pull up his stats real quick. Shout out to Will Wagner, by the way, because his dad, Billy Wagner, just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So shout out to the Wagner family. They're killing it right now. He hit .305 with 25 hits, 2 home runs, got 11 RBIs, on base of .340, slugging of .451, and OPS of almost .800 with a WAR of just under 1. That's some pretty good stats for only playing 40 games. I feel like Joey Loperfido maybe should be sent down to AAA just because we don't have room for him, especially now with Santander. Maybe he can stay up because of Varsho and his injury. Maybe we play him in center. We play Santander in center. I don't know what's going to happen. But maybe he can stay up till Varsho comes back. As for Davis Schneider, he needs to either get his ass off the team or get his ass down to AAA. I do not want to see that man on my Major League roster. And if some team can value him because of his Babe Schneider days, then trade him along with Addison Barger. Addison Barger, I love you, buddy, but 1, Ernie Clement's better. 2, there's no room on this spot for you. And 3, you can't go down to AAA because it's too good for AAA. So you got to go along with Davis Schneider. Davis Schneider and Addison Barger could honestly get us a good prospect, if not a Major League ready player to help us win like a bullpen arm, or a lefty starting pitcher because our whole rotation is full of right-handers. Sorry, I had to let that out. I've been holding that in for a little bit. Ernie Clement, I think he's safe. Leo Jimenez, I think he's gone too, unless we send him down to AAA. Like, there's not even enough room in AAA for all these guys. We got prospects on the way up, and I know we don't have the best prospect system, but we got some guys in AAA that need at-bats in AAA to develop for the MLB. So there's no way we're sending them to AA. So why not just send them somewhere else where they can play and get some better prospects in return, you feel me? So as for opening day, I think Joey Loperfido and Will Wagner should be safe along with Ernie Clement. Those 3 are my 3 to at least start the regular season. If we're bad, then it could very well switch in a flash. But that's all for this segment of who's on the 40-man roster. I don't even know. Next story we got. We're saving the best for last. So Pete Alonso, he could be coming to the team. And I wanted to let it be known that Pete Alonso's market has dropped like crazy hell, man. He, at the start of the offseason, he was projected to get 6 years, maybe 7 years, $150 to $200 million. Guess what this man's offer from the Mets was, okay? Mets, he's been with the Mets for the whole career, hometown star, okay? He's the lowest amount of home runs he's hit in a season is 34. That's the minimum. He hit 53 before. Oh my, it's the minimum to get 35 home runs from this guy. Guess what the Mets offered him? The Mets offered him close to 150 earlier in the season, I believe, and he declined that. Okay? They offered him 3 years, $70 million. It kind of looks like you should take that 150 now, doesn't it? But it's too late because you said no. People are saying with the Santander signing, by the way, that the Blue Jays are good. We're back to the World Series. No, we're not even back to the wild card yet, bro. We still need pop. Also, another concern with getting Pete Alonso is that the Blue Jays cannot hit home runs and everything, right? But people are saying, where is our contact? And I kind of agree with that because neither Santander or Alonso can really hit for a high average. The only players that I believe can hit for average on this team currently, Ernie Clement a little bit, Bo Bichette if he bounces back, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's about it. But if we have 3 people that can hit 40 home runs, it won't really matter, will it? So yes, just to double check, 2024, he had 34. This was his worst home run year. His worst home run year. He has 226 career home runs. And may I remind you, in the past 3 years, he has the most home runs in all of baseball. Besides Aaron Judge, of course. Why are the Mets undervaluing him, you may ask? That's a great question. But the Blue Jays could sneak and get this man. We've been rumored to get this man, and it's all because of Anthony Santander's contract. Let me explain. So we all know we signed Santander to a $92.5 million deal. But the deferred money, oh my God, the deferred money. Ross Atkins cooked with this one, boys. We don't hear that a lot nowadays. Ross Atkins might have just fleeced the MLB. And $68 million of the $92.5 million was deferred money. We're also backloading the contract, so I believe this first year is like only $11 million, and then it does get progressively higher. But this allows the Blue Jays to have even more money, or to save even more money, to go out and get Pete Alonso, because everyone's saying that you only need to pay Pete Alonso like a little bit more than the Mets to get him. Because if he doesn't really care about the Mets, then he'll come over to your team for like 3 years 75 and 3 years 70. But people are also saying that this could be a fleece job from Pete Alonso and his person that helped sign with him. I forget the name. But this could be a fleece job because they could be using the Blue Jays as leverage, which we've been used before for leverage, to drive up the price. Because if Steve Cohen really wants Pete Alonso, then he can just go up. But there's a lot of things with this, okay? That's another thing. If Steve Cohen really wanted Pete Alonso right now, then he'd already have him signed. May I remind you, he's a billionaire. He paid Juan Soto the highest sports contract in all of sports history, and he can do whatever the frick he wants with his money. But the reason why I don't think he has, and this kind of scares me a little bit, is because next year Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a free agent. He could not be a free agent, but if he is a free agent and Steve Cohen wants him, he is not going to lose. This is what I've been saying all along. If Vladdy goes into free agency, he's gone to either New York team, and it's sure as hell probably going to be Steve Cohen's baseball team, which is the New York Mets. So if they're thinking we can easily go get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. free agency next year. So if they don't see that talks are progressing with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Blue Jays front office, then they can say, Pete, you can go to Toronto. We don't care. That maybe means they're out of the Guerrero sweepstakes, that shouldn't mean that. But maybe Steve Cohen thinks it means that. And then Vladdy goes into free agency. We have the money to get Vladdy now. We need a first baseman. He's the perfect guy. So there's a lot of things taken into consideration with this. But just know that Pete Alonso could be coming to Toronto along with Santander and Guerrero. And that's potentially like 3 40 home run guys on the same baseball team, which could win you a lot of games. Also, Pete Alonso can lead the league in RBIs. He's freaking awesome, all right? Would love to have him on the team. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe. But other than that, it's been me, Brandon. I break down the Jays. I'll see you next time. Peace.